What's happening, Facebook? Good to see you guys. My name's Ryan Kelly. For those of you that don't know me, welcome to Paradigm Shift, guys. We had a amazing launch. We had a lot of fun. We launched on Saturday with Mr. Tommy Gunn. I'm going to say Tommy McClellan. I think I got that right this time. And we had a lot of fun. We went out and had a great time afterwards. We did get a little crazy. I'm not afraid to admit that. You guys, some of you might have saw that on Facebook. But the nice part is, guys, is we did it real responsibly. We got a party bus and we had a sober driver. And so if you guys do go out and you do get a little crazy, make sure you're doing it safely. But guys, I wanted to just reach out to you on this Tuesday. This Tuesday evening, I just got out of the office. My buddy Rob Sapp that helps produce this whole thing has been working all day. And the point of this coming to you guys on Tuesday at 7 o'clock is so you guys can get a little motivation. My manager, Jamie Hinckley, says, I hate when you do videos at night because then I got to lay down and try to sleep and I'm pumped up, I'm wired, I'm jacked, I can't go to sleep. And so I kind of want to give everybody that Tuesday, that gust, right? A lot of people say, oh, Monday, I hate Mondays. And I absolutely love Mondays. Mondays are one of my favorite days. Tuesdays are my favorite day. I have a company called Keystone Retirement Services here in Cadillac, and we do health insurance, life insurance, and then I do investments for that company. And I get to see everybody on Tuesdays. All my agents are in the office. I get to drop some knowledge and some motivation on them. And so I absolutely, absolutely love Tuesdays. As we continue to bring some people on and as people are watching, make sure you guys like and share the stream. We want to get the message out there. This isn't just something we want to do locally. This is something we want to do. We want to have 100,000 viewers on here, and in time, I assure you we will. So guys, I hope you're having a great day. Like I said, Rob and I, we've been grinding all day long, making stuff happen, taking massive action, and reaching towards our goals and our dreams, and that's what today is going to be about, guys. Today is going to be about improving in yourself, right? You see my nice little book section I got up here. These are some of my favorite books that I have that I've read, and investing in yourself pays a ridiculous amount of dividends, right? If you invest in yourself, things will happen tremendously for you. And so one of the biggest things you guys can do is read, right? They say the average CEO reads 60 books a year. Now, I am not up to 60 books a year. I'll be one of the first people to tell you that, but I do try to knock out a book a week, at least 3 books a month. And the point to that is because some of you that I went to school with probably know me. I'm going to drop some untold information on here that's relatively embarrassing. So I like to say that I become relatively successful with the companies that I own and what I'm doing. What's up, Mr. Jared Stark? I see you over there. With the companies that I have and what I'm doing. But I tell a lot of my agents and I tell a lot of you got to be humble, right? And so part of being humble is in high school, a girl named Tanya Scheidler, which I actually have a child with now. I think she just had the hots for me back in school and didn't know how to handle that. But she called me Ryan You Can't Read, and that name stuck with me throughout all of high school, and that sucked. That sucked a lot. And so because that name stuck with me, I had this massive phobia about reading books. And not only this massive phobia about reading books, like I couldn't read out loud to save my life. Jared Stark just walked in. He's checking us out. But Jared tells me, he goes, one of my favorite things to do is to read books out loud. I take them in better. And I said, boy, I clam up. I clam up like a little girl when I have to read books out loud. And so the point is, guys, is that you face that, right? You face that fear and you push forward and you just take it head on. Because I was scared to do that, because I was scared to read out loud, what I've done now in my adult life, what I did in high school is I pushed it off. I didn't want to read. I wouldn't raise my hand. If it came around to me, I'd stutter real bad. I would try to count how many paragraphs ahead it was my turn to read and try to pre-read the paragraph. And I didn't have phones back when I was in school. I couldn't Google what words meant or how to say them correctly. And but after school and as I'm growing up and as I'm evolving, not only as a person but in business, a lot of my education is done by self-education, right? I have to read books. I have to dig into information. And another big thing is I've never really had a solid mentor. my mentors are these people in these books that you see here. Grant Cardone, a huge mentor for me. Tony Robbins, a huge mentor for me. Tim Story, these people are massive. And I never had that in business where I could have somebody to go to and had questions and can answer. Now, I did have people that were more versed in the industry that I did reach out to and get, information from. But to have that direct mentorship when I was going through a hard time and how to handle that hard time, that was challenging. I literally failed my way to success, right? Every single time that I came up with an obstacle, or I came up in front of a challenge, or I came up with something I didn't know how to overcome, I had to fail. And once I fail, I learned how to not do things. And so a lot of people now, we do some business coaching, and not only business coaching, but we help. One thing that I do is small business startups. And so I have many small businesses in the area, but what I bring to the table there is I bring a lot of how to do things, or at least telling you how I've done them wrong, how I failed on doing things. And that's a really, really big deal, guys, is because you're never going to have home run after home run after home run. And this is something Grant Cardone said that really impacted me and that made a lot of sense before I knew who he was and before I read the 10X rule. Is one thing he said, that in business, business is the only industry, or the only thing that you can have a failing rate at. You can fail 99% of the time and still be extremely successful, and that's just by taking action, guys. And so I encourage you today. We're going to talk about putting into yourself and investing in yourself, and that's really, really important. I'm going to, if Jared or Jamie stay here long enough, I'm going to steal one of these guys on the show and make them share their story with you. Good to see you guys. I appreciate you guys stopping by the way. But so we're gonna talk about investing in yourself, and I want you to know kind of who you're talking to and who you're seeing right now. So again, my name's Ryan Cichelli. I'm going to be the host of Paradigm Shift. Paradigm Shift, guys, is all about changing your sense of direction, changing what's going on. And you're watching my live stream. I didn't know what you were doing there. Thank you for that. Thank you for throwing me up. All right, thank you. So, but changing your surrounding, a paradigm shift is like taking new action, right? If you're unhappy with your current scenario, if you're unhappy with your current setup, what you need to do is you need to make a shift in your paradigm, and by that, we need to be taking new action. I'm going to be kind of scattered, guys, but I'm kind of scatterbrained, and so I'm rapidly firing all the time on some of these ideas. But a big thing, and we're going to talk about taking action. Making the decision to take action is huge. And so when I say making the decision to take action, a lot of people can say, I'm not where I'm at. I'm not where I want to be in life, right? I want to be further. I want more money. I want more success. I want more friends. I want a hotter girlfriend. It doesn't matter what it is. The reality is if you don't make the decision to take action, right, then nothing's going to change. A lot of people I'm getting off track now because I'm going to start talking, but that's fine. A lot of people will tell me that, Ryan, I want to change my situation. I want to change where I'm at when I'm sitting down and kind of doing business coach or even personal growth with people. But at the end of the day, like, you want to change where you're at and you want to better your situation, but are you taking new action from that situation? That's huge, guys. If you tell me that you want to change your life, if you tell me that you want to make more money, but you do nothing to make more money, it's a bullshit decision. And so we'll get into that in just a little bit. I'm jumping ahead of myself. But so back to kind of who I am and what I do. I started with Keystone Retirement Services. I'm a partner in Keystone. We do health, life, and investments. And through that, I've been able to help a lot of people with my agency achieve personal growth, but also financial stability. It's not easy, guys, to make $100,000 a year. And if it was easy, then everybody would do it, right? The reality is the grind time. I'm gonna snag Jamie on here in a little bit. But what Jamie's got a phenomenal story is that year one, man, he had to grind because the shit sucked, right? It wasn't easy. I'm sure at times he questioned that. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But you have to keep working and you have to keep grinding, because year 2, year 3, year 4, you can achieve phenomenal success on whatever you do. And so we also do business startups. We'll touch on that for a second. I won't drop all of them. I have 5 companies now. I'm partnered in 1 or 3 other companies as well. Jatango being one of those. Phil Landrico, I'm pumped to talk to you later, brother. Sorry I didn't get a chance to call you back. I've been busy, man. I've been slammed. But we're partnered in them, and what happens is these people reach out to me, and just so you guys know, as I'm pitching this, we are currently maxed out on the companies we're doing, but people that are passionate about what they do and what they want in life, and Jake Hendrickson, let's take him. He'll be on our podcast here soon. But let's take him for an example. He approached me and he said, Ryan, I absolutely want to open this tattoo parlor. I love tattooing. I love being local. I want to get better every day, but I don't have a clue how to do it. And so we backed him financially. We brought the attorneys, we brought the contracts, we brought the accounting, and we gave him all the tools, the buildings, the permits, the licenses to be extremely successful. And we gave him the foundation. We gave him an extremely strong foundation, and he's been able to rocket to a very phenomenal first year in his industry as a business owner. And yes, there are always still things you can be growing on, Jake Hendrickson, but the reality is he's taking massive leaps and massive bounds, and he's doing extremely well. And he never would have done that if he didn't make the decision to reach out to me, if he didn't make the decision to talk to me about opening a tattoo parlor, right? I talked about it last week, and I want to touch on it again, guys. Like, Rob and I had to commit. We had to commit to making this podcast happen. And without us committing and making the decision and taking new action from that decision, we never would have made this happen. We invited Tommy Gunn with 3 weeks. We had a phenomenal launch. I couldn't ask for a better launch. And we got everything in place. We have a pretty nice setup, right? But it was stressful. It was a stressful 3 weeks to make all this shit happen. It didn't just come easily. It was a pain in the ass. And we came up with a lot of issues along the way. I talked to my good friend Nate Walker about how they have issues and they're going through stuff too. And I said, man, I think one of the best things you can do is go through issues. You're growing through it. And he agrees, right? He agrees. But the reality is in the moment when you're going through shit, it sucks, right? They say never too high, never too low. So in the moment when you're going through stuff, you might get overwhelmed. Like this podcast on top of, 5 other companies. I'm not going to tell you it was overwhelming, but I might have questioned if it was going to turn out as good as it did, right? We were going to do it, whether you just saw a green screen and I sat here in a chair, but it turned out really, really well. And the reason it turned out well was because of the amount of energy and effort that we put into this. And so we're going to come to you guys every Tuesday at 7. We got Alex Yonkman coming on, which I'm super excited for. And we're going to make some stuff happen. And so I'm going to talk about investing in yourself. But as I'm talking about investing in yourself, I want to get Mr. Hinckley in here. You got a couple minutes to get in here? All right. You might have to walk back. I don't know how you're going to do this, actually. You're going to have to wither your way around here. This is a last minute drop in because I think Jamie Hinckley has an awesome story. Go ahead and move some of these books, Jamie. And I'm going to use this to hold my phone up. I put you right on the spot, didn't I?
A little bit.
That's all right, man. That's all right. We just throw these like this.
All right. Fairly comfortable in front of people.
Yeah, it happens, right? It happens. So the reason, guys, that I'm bringing Mr. Jamie Hinckley on here is because Jamie's a manager for one of my companies, Keystone Retirement Services. And Jamie not only is a manager, but he had a shit first year. He had to come into a lot. He had to work really, really hard to be where he's at now. And so I'll give you kind of the backdrop because this has a lot to do with personal growth and investing in yourself. If Jamie didn't invest in himself, he wouldn't be where he's at today. And so we're going to talk about that. So Jamie, give us a little backdrop on yourself. Is his mic on? Is his mic good?
All right. Well, Jamie Hinckley. I work at Keystone Retirement Services, like Ryan says. I'm a manager there and our newest financial planner now.
Yeah. Yes,
so it's been an exciting couple of years here, and you weren't lying. I had a really rough first year for sure, but it is all about growth. And I knew early on that I needed to do something because I was working a lot of jobs that were just that, jobs. I would grind away 6-7 days a week, 12-hour days, making peanuts and not doing anything that I loved. And now that thing has changed. Now I still grind 6 or 7 days a week, and I work
yeah.
long days, but it's doing something that I love. I'm out there helping people every single day, and I'm helping our agents every single day.
Well, and that's a big part of what I want to talk about is you know, as far as the investing in yourself. When you started, right, you never had this mindset that you do now, right? Like now you're a manager, you motivate our agents, you keep them going. And not only are you a manager and you keep them going, right, and you change your mindset, you evolved your mindset. I make these guys read a lot of books too. I kind of shove books down their throat actually, but it's because I want them to grow. But what I want to get at is your first year, man, you had to overcome a lot of obstacles, right? A lot of obstacles to be where you're at right now, and I'm pumped for your future. I tell you all the time. He goes, every time you get a couple beers in you tell me how great my future is going to be, and so, but I do, because I'm excited for him. I'm excited to see the growth in the work that Jamie's put in, and I'm excited to see him go from a factory where he worked at right here in Cadillac, Michigan, to now a manager at Keystone Retirement Services, and now he's running. He's just breaking into that running investments, and it's going to change his entire life. And so I want you to touch on a couple things. One, so Jamie has a wonderful wife, Ann. They have 3 beautiful kids, and Ann is a stay-at-home mom, which is absolutely amazing. But there's challenges in that, right? When we're starting in an industry like Keystone.
Oh yes, I mean, I came from a job where I wasn't making that much money, and like I said, I was working all the time. So my wife, by the way, has a much harder job than I will ever have. So if you're watching, baby, I love you and I appreciate you very much. But it was a huge obstacle coming from a job like that with no financial backing whatsoever and going into a complete commission-based job.
Right, because you have great weeks and you have bad weeks, and then you have a lot of bad weeks, and then you have some
exactly.
great weeks.
It takes, I mean, and we're a single income household. So to go from that steady, if meager pay to uncertainty like that was a huge leap of faith on my part, but I will never regret it for a minute.
Well, and that's so. Let me touch on that just for 1 second, man. Like, it's a huge leap of faith, right? That's why I had to get Jamie on here, guys. It throws me off what I had planned for you guys, but it ties right into it. This is why I wanted him on here, because guys, if you don't take that leap, some of you might be thinking, I want to start a business. Some of you might be thinking, I want to quit my job and find another job. Guys, you can do it correctly. We'll talk about making long-term decisions on short-term emotion. Another podcast. Very important lesson in life. But if you don't take that job, guys, you're always gonna say, what if? Like, what if I did? What if I did? I tell a lot of people that interview with Keystone, guys, and this isn't a pitch for Keystone at all. We're almost maxed out on how many people we can have. But I tell them, if you don't take this jump, I guarantee you this, in 1 month, 3 months, 2 years, or 5 years, you're always going to say, what if I did? What if I did? Because I can tell you now, what I'm at right now is the everything you see. A lot of people say, I'm lucky, or I've run into luck, or things fall in my lap. That's bullshit, right? When Jamie, he's starting to do better and better and better, right? He's on track for his first $100,000 year. And as he does better and better and better, people are going to say, like, oh, he got lucky, Ryan gave him the job, or whatever the case is. And the reality is like, he took that leap of faith. He jumped when a lot of people won't jump. And so I didn't mean to step on your toes there, man, but that's fucking fire, right? That gets me excited. You got to jump, man. Every business that I invest into, I jump. And believe me, I've done some videos on this. I have lost my ass. And Jamie lost his ass for the whole first year he worked for me, right? It was
no
tough.
joke, man. Ramen noodles are a staple.
Right. Right. So, but I want you to touch on that. So what are the first year you were with me, I guess, what are some big obstacles you had to overcome?
I think the biggest obstacle that I had to overcome was just getting comfortable with people, especially on the phone. Because in our industry, it all begins with the phone. Yeah. And the better you are with that, the more comfortable you can make people feel over the phone, the more people you get to see in person, and the more chances you have to help folks. So that was a huge obstacle to overcome. Yeah,
and the phone's intimidating too, right?
Oh,
we do a lot of, we call it warm calling. Jared, do you think we warm call? It's kind of yeah, sure we do. But you get told to fuck off a lot. You get told they're upset a lot. And you have to overcome that stuff. And we don't pester people. Don't get me wrong. We provide a phenomenal service, but it's challenging, right? I tell my agents that the phone's like an ATM, man. That thing prints money. You just take action. Jared said, and you had a hard time, right, when you first started. That's what I'm getting at. Is the phone sucked? Like, it's intimidating.
Oh, it was horrible.
And
it was absolutely horrible the
And
first few months.
Jared said, I hate phoning. Like, I can't stand phoning. But I know I have to do it. I know that the action that I have to take is going to, things are going to get better from me taking this action. And so I just put my head down and I just dial. That's just what I do. I just dial, right? And there's a lot of knowledge in that. And you should continue to pass that along to every agent that continues to come out of Keystone. Because you could be, and I've had this too. I'm going to touch on this. Jamie was getting really good on the phone and was starting to do really well. And he had something that unfortunately happened in his life. His brother passed away, right? And it's extremely unfortunate. He went through a time of not being able to work. I think you were out for 3 weeks altogether. And it was a rough deal. It sucks. At Keystone, we're family. We wrap each other's arms around you and we help you. But when he came back, I kind of saw that that little bit of hesitation to get back on the phone because you're out of it for a while. And so what it is the reason I bring that up is because, guys, that's a hurdle in life, right? That's a hurdle in life. Like, in business, shit's not gonna be easy. I say that I'm a firefighter, right? I'm a professional problem solver because every single day I have a lot of good things going for me. We do very, very well financially, but man, I run into a lot of issues. And this is really important too. And I'm gonna let you chime in on the overcoming that obstacle. Sorry for talking so much, but
It's your podcast.
I know. But I want, I want you on here because I love your story. But guys, like, every obstacle is an opportunity for growth. Every objection is an opportunity to bring more value. If I wasn't running into problems, I wouldn't be growing. Every Monday when I wake up and I have 35 problems on a Monday, I know we're doing something right. I know we're growing. I know things are getting better. Now, if I run into the same problems over and over and over, there's an issue I need to take care of. But we don't do that very often. We don't ever do that. And so, touch on that a little bit. What was that like coming back and having to find your groove again?
Well, it was pretty devastating. So
Right.
It was rough. But, and it did take a little time to get kind of back into the swing of things. And I think it was just the mindset. It was a devastating loss. And
yeah. And so a lot of that, and the reason, like I said, I wanted to bring Jamie on is because he's overcome so much shit, and now you're on fire, right?
Yeah, doing really well now. And you talk about making mistakes and learning from our mistakes, and now I'm able to pass that knowledge on to our agents because the same thing. I'm going to fail my way to success. It's essentially what it is. I'm learning as I go. I've learned a lot from you as I've gone, and we just pass that knowledge along. Now, that being said, it still takes a massive amount of perseverance. And I knew just coming into this industry that I could do it, based on some of the jobs that I've worked in the past. I've worked swinging a sledgehammer, worked construction, done things where I've almost lost fingers. And I know some people out there have lost fingers doing these jobs.
Right.
So I know that if I could make it in industries like that, I can do anything at all. And if I could overcome an obstacle like the death of my brother, I know that I can get through anything.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It makes you a lot stronger as well. I can't imagine losing a family member. It was tough to even see Jamie go through that. But what I want to get at is, guys, without the correct mindset and support, structure's huge, right? The structure support's absolutely huge. But without the right mindset and to be able to clean that up, man, it could have derailed your career.
Very easily. I was heading down a dark path, for sure.
Right. But, that's why I talk about, guys, you're the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most. And I truly mean that. You're absolutely the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most. And so when you go through shit, right, you have people around you that help support you. And that can't be more true, right? When you went through that, you had pretty much a family other than your own family at Keystone putting your arms around you and doing it. And guys, there's times where I go through things in life, and I vent to Jamie quite a bit, actually. I say vent. We talk about things. I don't want to say vent. We talk about things. You actually mentioned, this is very good, with the podcast and stuff in Jatango, like, is there a point where you're stretching yourself out too much, right? Is there, like, when is enough? And I did a video on that, a little live stream on that, but when that's a big deal. Like, I could have felt very, very, very overwhelmed and said, man, I'm going to cave, right? But without having, like, Jamie, somebody to talk to and to refocus my mindset and to get my mind right, I could have said, you know what, guys, this is too much. I am overwhelmed, and that's it. And another big part for both of us at Keystone, we're a massive family, and we not only are we a massive family, but we care about each other's families. Like, a big part is that you get to go home to your kids. I get to go home to my kids. And if you ever question why you're doing something in life, that puts it right in perspective, doesn't it?
Oh
Instantly.
yeah, every day when I walk home, every day when I
Shit's
get
rough.
home after a long day, I will come in the door. They're overjoyed to see me, and I know that I'm doing what's best for them. No matter how much work I put in, it's all for them.
Well, and that's a big thing too. You know, a lot of people. I had somebody get on not too long ago, and they say, "Ryan, dude, all you do is you work and you work and you work and you work." I said, "Yeah, you know what I mean." But like what I'm doing now is I work 9 to 5 on my job, which my job is something I've created from the ground up, and I've created with a good backing. But so it's not a job. I work 9 to 5 on my career, but you work 5 to 9 on your dreams. And so this podcast is like a prime example of that. I have a massive goal to be a motivational speaker, right? I want to get out in front of people. If you guys ever watch my first live videos I did on my own, they were terrible.
Learn and grow.
Yeah, right. Jamie actually would tell me how terrible they were, and not only that, but you watch them and you go through the first video and you count how many ums and ahs you say. I'm like, damn it, man. Damn it.
Yeah, in the speaking industry, we call them verbal pauses.
Verbal pauses.
And you've cut down on that a lot. That's very good.
Well, and it comes with doing this a lot. It comes with it. You know, it comes with practice, repetition, right? Repetition makes perfect. If you want to be a football player, you want to be a professional football player, you practice football every single day of the week. And so, you know, with speaking, I start doing the videos, and I would edit the videos, and I won't even say edit, I'd delete them and redo them. And after I've done it 20 or 30 times, I would start to go live and do them on live. And I was getting better and better and better and better. And now, you know, now we're running a live podcast, which I'm extremely proud of. So the point of the bringing Jamie on, and then I'm not going to let you leave and you sit here and chill with me, but the point of bringing Jamie on is because he has overcome a tremendous amount of shit. In the industry, I couldn't be more happy to have him as my right man
Gotcha.
right now. Because what happens is when I'm dealing with issues with agents, I can always refer back to Jamie, and Jamie can always work with the agents, and I always can tell them Jamie's story. Like, my story is good, right? My story's good, but Jamie's story is better, I think. And so I like to use this story a lot because when somebody comes with me to me, we're big on accountability. We're big on growth. When somebody comes to me with some bullshit excuses, and there's times that their excuses are validated, but a lot of times excuses are bullshit. And when they come to me to it, I say, you know what, I never heard that from Jamie, or Jamie never gave me that shit, or, you know what I mean, Jamie went through that, or he got through it, right? And I don't mean to make your head swell right up, but that's the reality of it, is like, you overcame so much more, and there was a lot to it, right?
Well, everybody handles pressure differently.
Agreed.
And we all need to rely on our support structure at some point. And so that's what we do for each other. That's what we do for our agents. Just make sure that they always have that line of support. And no matter what they're feeling, we can help them try to overcome it. But the biggest thing is they have to want to overcome it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so getting on, you know, to investing in yourself, I'm just reading a couple quotes that I have here that I have down, and I got a couple pages actually. I'm gonna drop some knowledge on you. But people, you know, they say 65% of people out there want to improve their situation, whether that be, you know, financially or their job, and they say 85% of people want to improve the situation around them, whether that be like me. Like I said, I joke a lot that, you know what I mean, I got chubby cheeks, I could lose a little weight, but or money, or I want to push for more when I'm satisfied. But almost all those people, after they clock out of work and after they're done with work, they go home and they sit on their couch and they do absolutely nothing, guys. And I'm not talking to anybody in particular. I'm speaking in generals, right? And so if you find this offensive for some reason, fucking good, man. That means you should be taking some action, right? But a lot of people go home, they clock out, and they don't do anything. They sit at home, they watch TV. And I was you could accuse me of this for years. I used to party my face off when I was younger, right? My ex Tanya will tell you I made a lot of stupid fucking decisions, right? But you have to change your mindset, guys, because at the end of the day, when you go home and you watch TV and you don't you don't read books, or you don't push, or you don't try to work on your passion or your dream, what happens is, guys, is you're not improving any situation in your life. And so then throughout the week, when you're bitching about where you're at right now, right? The reality is, and I truly believe this, absolutely, everybody in life, and there's some scenarios, some medical scenarios, there's a couple scenarios, but everybody in life is where they're at because of decisions they made, right? You are at in life where you are based on decisions you made upstream. And do you agree with that? I'm throwing that's a bold statement to say, because I know that a lot of people say that they're medically, they can't do stuff, but yet you watch people. There's a guy, and I don't know his name, I wish I did. He doesn't have any arms or any legs, and he's a motivational speaker, and he talks about all the things he overcomes on a daily basis, guys. If he can do it, anybody can do it. Absolutely anybody can do it. And so that's really important. You have to want to improve your situation, and here's one way to better it. Now I say, they say a year. There's a quote. It says, in the last year, what new skill or what new knowledge have you acquired? What have you brought new? What have you leveled up this year? Nate Walker, that's a plug for you, man. Level Up, right? That's Nate Walker's podcast, a good buddy of mine. But what have you leveled up this year and took yourself to another level on? And that's huge. And so what happens too is that the 5 people you surround yourself with, and I'll say my company, I force every one of these guys, Jared and Jamie and every one of them, to level the fuck up, right? I make them read books. I make them we have Cardone U, which is a training platform. I make them do that. Even Jamie said, man, I don't have time, dude. I'm busy. I'm running these agents. I'm doing this. I'm busy. I said, well, bro, you got to make time. We got to create time. That's what I told you today. We got to create time. And I'll tell you that as you get more successful, money does help create time. Jennifer Holmes, I'm gonna get punched. Jennifer Songer, if you're watching, she's a prime example of me creating time. I hired Jennifer, one of the best things I ever did. She's amazing, from Keystone to myself. But by me doing that, I've almost doubled my annual income because of the workload she takes on. I probably should give her a pay raise. Well, I'm not good at winking, am I? There you go. But anyway, guys, I wanted to touch on that. And you guys have absolute greatness in you. Think about this too: is that every successful person? This is what my topic was on until you came down. So we'll go a little long, but that's fine. Every successful person on this planet, guys, has the same amount of time as I do. Has the same amount of time as Jamie does. Has the same amount of time as Robert or Jared, and the same amount of time as you, right? And that's really important. It's what you do. It's what you choose to do with your time that allows you to be successful, and that allows you to create new opportunities. Opportunities are luck. Luck is when opportunity meets preparation, right? You say, oh, you're lucky. No, dude, I work my ass off. And then when I'm in front of an opportunity, I capitalize on that shit, right? I would rather be ready for an opportunity every day of the week and never fucking have one than have an opportunity in front of me and not be ready for one.
That's a very good point.
It's powerful.
Always be prepared.
Always be prepared. So, and that, guys, and here's another thing too. A lot of people absolutely piss away their weekends, right? A lot of people absolutely piss away their weekends on party. We did some partying this last week. Jamie was with us. We had fun, right?
It was a good time.
It was a great time. Tommy Gunn, he was a blast, wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
Jared Stark was man. We got the whole crew here. Jeez, get Tommy Gunn back, get my wife. We'll get them all back. We'll do it again. Well, we had a lot of fun, but the reason, we were celebrating the launch of our podcast. Not only the launch of our podcast, but we did it. We don't do that every weekend, and so a lot of people piss away their weekends, guys. They absolutely piss away their weekends. And then after the weekend's over, they go back to their job, right? And I can relate to this. I did this a lot. And let me give you a prime example. I was working at Paulstra. Rough time in my life. I was working at Paulstra, no car. I got picked up by a friend of mine named Amber and dropped off every night by a friend of mine named Amber that worked the same shift as I did. And I partied every fucking weekend, my face off. And I bitched about my situation and my house and my job every day during the week. Every single day during the week. And I literally did nothing to improve the situation, but for some reason, bitching about it made me feel better. And so that's what I did. And a lot of people did that. I imagine to some degree, you have your kids, but at some level, you probably party, work, and said, man, I wanted to increase my situation or do better, right?
Well, of course, you always have these dreams of all the wonderful things you want to do. But if you're not taking steps to realize those dreams, it does you absolutely no good. So I absolutely did the same thing for years and years and years, and especially in my younger years working at Burger King.
Right.
we partied a lot. You close the shop every night, go and party until dawn.
Yeah.
And what did that accomplish? It got me nothing except broke and hungover.
Yeah. And so here's another important part of that is just because you're busy, guys, even now in life with what I'm doing. Thank you, good sir. You're a good friend.
Anytime.
Jared Stark, guys. Jared Stark. So, you can be really, really busy. You can be peddling a bunch of things, but just because you're busy doesn't mean that you're capitalizing on the time. Doesn't mean that you're being effective, right? I can be as busy as I want to be. I can turn and turn and turn and turn the clock and I can run circles around shit, but that doesn't mean I'm using my time effectively. And that's really, really powerful, guys. If your situation is changing so quickly, or not even, let me not say so quickly. I don't want to say that. Sometimes my situation changes quickly, and it's because I'm taking so much action. Like, I'm fucking grinding every day, and every one of you guys can do it too. But when I first started taking a lot of action, it seemed like forever. Jared Stark, right? Prime example of this. He's been with our company 7 months now, 6 months now, somewhere like that. And he's doing well. He's grinding. He's taking action. He works probably later and longer than almost anybody but you when you first started, right? But now he outperforms you in the office as far as time being there and doing shit. Some days.
Some days,
he says. But what I'm getting at is the shit isn't easy. It sucks. These 6 months for Jared probably felt like 5 years, and I don't doubt that at all. And he's not making millions of dollars, right? He's doing okay. He's getting better every day, but he's not making millions of dollars. And so what I'm getting at, guys, is that when you start taking action, don't just expect to see results. Don't just say, I'm 1 week in or 3 weeks in, I don't see results, and so I'm done doing it. That's bullshit, right? I know I'm kind of fat, right? And I know that 1 week in the gym or eating one salad isn't going to change me being a little overweight. I'll say overweight. But if I continue to go to the gym, if I continue to work, if I continue to grind, if I continue to eat healthy, you won't recognize me in 6 months because I'll be looking good. I'll be looking clean. Same situation with Jared. Same situation with all you guys. Jared's going to keep grinding, keep working, keep killing it. And then once he's doing that, he's going to have so much money, so much success around him that you guys aren't going to recognize him. You're going to be like, damn, is that Jared? I went to school with him. I think I went to school with him. That's Jared Stark, right? Those are the exciting things that we get to do. And you're like on a cusp. You're about to explode.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm raring to go.
So keep that in mind, guys. Just because you're busy does not mean that you're making effective use of your time. And then also on here, I want to touch. You guys have the power to change this and invest in yourself. And so you want to add anything to that while I flip pages here?
Also, I just want to say, I'm a prime example. I spent years grinding, but spinning my wheels pretty much, doing nothing. And it was when I found a purpose and I knew exactly what I wanted to go for that it really solidified in me that I could be working so much harder for a greater purpose.
Yeah, I agree with you. There you go. You see that, Jared? You see what he just did there? I was cheersing you when Jamie's out of beer. You're such... Oh, he said. So... Guys, I hope you don't hate on us too much for having a beer. It's 7:20 or so, 7:30, and we've been grinding all day. These guys just left the office, so it's kind of nice that they're here. And I just left the office when I walked here, man. I don't do that. When I drove here, but
it's all a lie. We're broke.
We're broke. Yeah, we don't have any money. We all walk everywhere. But what I'm getting at, guys, is that. Don't hate on us for having a beer and relaxing. We want this to be a relaxed setting. We want this to be I want you to find value in this. And so I want to touch on a couple things. Guys, I have a horrible time sleeping at night, almost every night. What happens is I get a little glass of scotch in me, and I start thinking about all the opportunity we're having. All the opportunity that's in the next day, right? They say 365 days. There's one opportunity every day. There's 365 opportunities for you to better your life, for you to take action, for you to change something, right? I can tell you right now, they talk about the cure-all and changing your situation. Guys, the cure-all in life is by taking massive fucking action, right? Massive action. And would you agree with that?
Oh, definitely. What are you going to do if you just sit on your ass and do nothing at all day? If you come home from work every night and don't try to better yourself, watching TV gets you nowhere. It's entertaining, but it gets you absolutely nowhere.
Jen, I love you. I'm not giving you a raise yet. I just saw your comment on here. I'm glad you're watching, though. I'm glad that you're on here. So here, another nice part about that too is like I said, I think about all the opportunity that we have, and we think about all the opportunity that we're going to capitalize on. But none of that can be done without making the decision, guys. And so, that's really, really important. And so Nike has a saying, their saying has never been more relevant to me than it has been these last 4 or 5 months. Their saying is just do it, right? Their saying is just fucking do it. It is simple, and I get it, but it's never resonated with me until a couple months ago when I listened to a book called Awaken the Giant by Tony Robbins. And boy, I tell you what, the next morning I went in and I had a fire message for these guys, because the Awaken the Giant, if you guys get it on Audible, I think it's like an hour and 40 minutes or something, and it will get you jacked up. I try to listen to that book once a month on top of all the other books I'm doing. But Nike has a saying, just do it, right? Just commit, just do it, right? If you do it, action will flow from it, right? Action will flow from it. I told Jared, right, one of the biggest things that I took out of the 10X Growth Con is commit first and figure it out later, right? Commit first and figure it out later. One of the companies I have called S&R Outdoor Services, we took on a job. Bob Bazine, I hope you're not watching. Bob Bazine called me from Bazine Trucking, and he said, Ryan, can you do this job? And it's in the state land in Coatmish, and there's no water hookup. We need like a portable power washing unit. And I thought, shit, Bob Bazine, he got a big truck, he kept calling me for an opportunity. Like, if I say no, I'm a retard, right? And so I said, yeah, we'll do it. And he said, great, I'll give you the address, I'll give you the location, we'll give you the time, the day, everything. I said, great, we'll do it. I get off the phone, I turn to April, I said, I don't know how the fuck we're gonna do it. I don't have a clue. And so, but what I did is I instantly committed to it. You commit first and figure it out later. And the next, James Aldridge that runs S&R for me, the next 3 days, we did nothing but run around getting shit ready. And guess what happened, guys? We took 1,600 gallons of water out to this to this site. We took it out on a trailer. We got all the shit prepared. My good friend Matt Gunnarsson helped me put it together. But we got the job. And not only did we do the job, we did a hell of a job doing the job. And if I would have said, no, I'm not ready for it, I'm not prepped for it, I don't have the shit for it right now, I never would have made that connection with Bob. Now Bob and I have a pretty, I'm not going to say we're good friends or anything, I don't really know Bob, but on business, I buy a lot of wood from Bob for S&R now, and because I buy a lot of wood, he's actually giving me a better deal. Thank you, sir. But the point is, guys, is I never would have made that connection, right? Now he supplies me with hundreds of pulp cord of wood. And not only that, that helps us allow to do business. I'm getting a really good price because of the amount of wood I'm doing. And that all happened, because he saw S&R Outdoor Services on a sweatshirt and pulled my number off it and called and said, hey, can you do this job? And I couldn't do it, guys. I couldn't do the job. But I committed. I said, yes, I can. And I figured it the fuck out, right? Which is exactly what you have to do. In business, that is extremely relevant. And so, guys, the point of all of this, investing in yourself, right? I talk about investing in yourself and reading books and doing more. Guys, your mindset, Jamie talked about it before, your mindset changes everything. The answer isn't some $99 program that somebody's going to fucking sell you that will change your life, right? I say that we use Grant Cardone's Cardone U. It's a great program. It is not going to solve all my problems unless I take action with the information that I'm gaining from that, right? And so it's a mindset. You are the key. You are the key. You can literally change your mind. I'm getting fucking excited. You can change your life in an instant, guys. And I did. When I had my twins, once my twins were born, a lot of people will tell you they don't even recognize who I am anymore because I got a little fatter. I used to be in shape, but on a success level, on a personal growth level, on a business level, like this isn't who I was 5 years ago, guys. I was at the gym and then drinking beer and then I was being like, I don't know, a retard, right? But I changed my mindset. And in an instant, guys, in one fucking instant, my whole life changed, right? My whole life changed. Where I'm at right now is because of every decision that I made upstream leading to this point. So I'll tell you another a wonderful story real quick, and I want to touch on a couple things with you, but
touch me.
Jatango, which is a company that I am proud to be a partner of, and you guys will all know what Jatango is soon, just so you know. But Jatango, a company I'm very proud to be a partner of, I got in touch with Phil Enrico, and I bought some shares in the company, and they went, and after talking to him a couple times, he saw some value and what I said. And so what they did is they went back and they watched video after video after video after video that I put up on these live streams. And he called me back. He said, Ryan, do you do like professional speaking? And I said, no. I go, I've just failed my way to being a good speaker, right? I've fucked up so many times that I'm a better speaker now. I'm critiquing myself with every video I do. And he goes, man, we love your message. We love what you're putting through. Would you like to be the spokesperson for Jatango? And I thought, holy cow, right? And not only holy cow, it came with a contract for some shares. I'm not going to disclose all that to you. But guys, I'm going to tell you right now, and for my friends and family that know what's going on with Jatango, it's going to change my life. That all the decision to make videos, and not only the decision to make videos, but the decision to continue making videos and educating myself when I completely fucking sucked at making videos at first, could have deterred me and stopped me, but I kept pushing through it, right? I kept grinding. And that's extremely important. That's a huge reason why you know what I mean, you and Jared and Rob, we're going to find a massive amounts of success in life. Not only do you surround yourself with people that are doing really, really well, which is, you know what I mean, I feel like I make you level up. Like, I don't allow you to be average. I don't allow you to be mediocre. Would you agree with that?
You give us a bar.
Yeah, a big fucking
and it raises
bar.
all the time.
No, I'm just picking on you. So, but the point is like you surround yourself with these people and you get in a good group and you like, if somebody's not doing well, you force them to level up. If somebody's mindsets get off, because it's easy, right? And in the big picture of things, you can say, man, this sucks. Like was there any time, you be honest with me, that you thought, man, maybe Keystone wasn't for me?
Not once.
Okay, well, I did a really good job on training them. But let me do this. If there was a time, right?
I will say that I had darker times when things weren't going so well, when I was working very hard with very little reward, that I didn't question where I was heading, but I questioned if I would be able to continue, without going and getting another job, without having to take a step back, so that hopefully I could push forward later.
And so what happens is that mindset, that doubt, right? Doubt's in the back of everybody's mind. That doubt will fuck your game up. That doubt will throw you off. That doubt could make you long-term decision guys on short-term emotion, right? I got to do a whole segment, a whole podcast on this. I'm giving you too much info in this podcast, but you could have made a long-term decision leaving Keystone
easily
on short-term emotion.
I could have, but I'm generally a pretty rational person.
Yeah, I'm glad you did.
I see the value in what we do.
Right.
And I see the potential. And I know that taking a step back would be exactly that, taking a step back. And if you're not moving forward, what are you doing?
Yeah, you're moving behind. You're losing steps, guys. You're losing steps.
I had to persevere, and I think that is the number one thing. All of these books, that's the number one goal, is to persevere. I mean, first is to get off your ass. You need to do something. If you don't like where you are, you need to do something. And you just have to push through the obstacles. Just like you did with this podcast. I mean, this started with staring up your nose on Facebook videos.
Thank you for that.
But you've come so far now, and there's so much further to go. I mean, there are going to be public speaking events. There's going to be more podcasts, more guests.
Yeah.
It's going to be an amazing journey.
I know, I'm pumped.
Me too, brother.
I'm pumped. And so, guys, we'll wrap it up. I know we're going. Rob, how are we doing on time? We're good. So I know we're going over a lot of different things, guys. I hope to bring you so much fucking fire, right? And I want to touch on something too. Lorenzo, I love Lorenzo. He's a partner at Next Level. He goes, man, you got to get the beer, you got to get the alcohol out of the podcast. And
not bad. I think we need product placement.
right.
Stella.
And I had somebody say, Ryan, you swear too much. You got to watch your mouth. Guys, here's what I don't like. Right? Here's what I absolutely don't like. Jennifer Songer, I love your face. So here's what I don't like, guys, is I don't like people that are fake. And I'm not a fake person. You get, I'll work with you. Some of my closest clients know exactly who I am. And I like to have beer. I like to drink a little scotch every once in a while. I'm a big family man. Every one of our companies is hardcore on family. You can attest to that. We have our Christmas party coming up on Pump 4. And when things happen, we really corral around the people that we have. But But I do have a bad mouth, and I'm not going to put on a front for anybody, nor would I ever ask anybody that comes on my show to put up a front just to appease other people. And I think a lot of times, people being fake or two-faced or whatever the case may be, a lot of times that brings more negative than it does positive. And so I hope you guys like the podcast. I hope you share the podcast. Like the page, right? So you guys can know when we're going live. We're going live every single Tuesday at 7 o'clock. And if you don't like me, it says more about you than it does about us, right?
I would have just said fuck off.
Oh, all right. So that works too. So guys, we want to end things on a positive note. I truly believe that every single person on this planet has greatness within them. That's fucked me a couple times. One of the loans I did, right? People going through a bad time. That one, I didn't even get no lube on it. She hurt. But the point is, guys, is that I believe everybody in life deserves an opportunity in life. And if I can help people get that, if I can give you a little motivation, if I can give you a little grind time or just some inspiration, then I'm achieving my purpose in life, guys. And so you guys all have greatness in you. God bless. Have a great night. Say goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
God. Have a great night, guys.